Universal Fragrances here. I wanted to wish everybody a happy official 2024 and film a quick video for you guys on my most complimented Bond number 9 cold weather winter fragrances. Don't have a lot of time today, so let's get right to it. Number 5, I'm going to go West Side. This is a really interesting fragrance because for me, I always used to wear it during spring and summertime, and during the hotter days, more humid days, things of that nature, you really get a lot more of the rose and the florals in this fragrance. And I started wearing it during cold weather just to kind of see how it would react. I was a little bit shocked, in a good way. When you wear this in cold weather, especially below like 60 degrees, West Side, it really gives a strong amber, sandalwood, and vanilla kind of gourmand, warm, resiny type of vibe. Really transforms the fragrance. It's not something to where West Side is overly floral in the summertime to me anyway. You still get a little bit of that vanilla, amber, and sandalwood. But in cold weather, the florals seem to be very much dialed back, and the base notes of the amber, again, the vanilla and the sandalwood really come to the forefront. Really cool. You don't get that in a lot of fragrances. Some, I'm sure, behave that way. So if you have any that behave that way in your collection, that kind of change depending on the temperature that you wear them. But for me, I was kind of shocked at how much West Side really did change. And for me, no matter what time of year I wear it, but especially during the cooler time of year, it really seems to be a complimented fragrance for me. So number 4, Coney Island. Now, if I was to go like most complimented because of how long I've had this bottle, Coney Island would probably be number 1, but just to give every fragrance a fair shot, I wanted to kind of do it on a per capita, like how many times you've worn it versus how many times you've gotten compliment on it kind of basis. So if I was going overall most complimented for cold weather fragrances, just because I've had New Harlem since '04, this is the second bottle of the new batch that they came out with. Coney Island, this is still my original bottle. I think I've had this since like '08 or '09, maybe even a little bit before then. So 2 overall most complimented, just because I've had them for so long, would be New Harlem and Coney Island. But Coney Island really is just a beautiful gourmand fragrance. It's got vanilla, chocolate, caramel, cinnamon, guava, margarita mix. It's got some woods in there. I think it's got sandal and cedarwood, and also some musk at the base. So it's got a lot of balance to the fragrance. It's not overly sweet. It is very gourmand. So if you like citrusy kind of gourmand fragrances, I would recommend that you get a sample of Coney Island. Really good stuff. I don't know how, some of the newer batches are, but Bond has done very well at being consistent. So number 4, I'm going to go with Coney Island there. Number 3, I talk about this one a lot, and it's really a simple fragrance. It's simple yet complex. Bond number 9 signature scent right here. Got oud extract, rose, tonka bean, and musk. In my opinion, there is some like woods and other notes like that they may not be listing in the fragrance. It has like a smell of teak wood to me, along with the oud extract and the musk, but it really is a very simple, clean, but at the same time, it's very complex with the wood, musk, and oud notes. Really beautiful stuff, at least on my skin. You can wear this one also, for the most part, any time of year, although I do think it is strong, maybe a little bit too strong to wear in the summer heat. It is a pure parfum concentration. So for me, this goes a little bit better in the cold weather. And signature scent has always just been one of my favorites from the House of Bond number 9. First time I smelled it, it just really has a very luxurious smell to it. And for me, signature scent just works really well on my skin. So number 2, and it's almost tied with Bond number 9, Dubai Gold. It's hard to, quantify, but at least in my experience, I haven't had this one as long as New Harlem. But both of these fragrances right here, you could pretty much interchange as number 1 or number 2, because every single time I seem to wear these, somebody says something. And New Harlem, it's not going to be for everybody. Maybe a little bit too syrupy, maybe a little bit too sweet, but man, the vanilla, tonka, coffee, sandalwood, lavender, this fragrance just seems to have it all, and it's very well blended. It's done by one of my favorite perfumers, Maurice Roussel. He's also the same one that did Riverside Drive for Bond number 9. So shout out to Maurice Roussel, making some great stuff, and also great job by Bond number 9. I went through the original bottle of this when it first came out, back in the early 2000s. Went through it quick. Also had like 10 samples of it as well. I was a little bit nervous about ordering the new batch, and I can certainly say that the new batch, the longevity, the performance, everything that you loved about the old New Harlem, this one may be even better than the original. It does seem to have a little bit of that like syrupy pancake sweetness, maybe a little bit more of that, maybe slightly more lavender. And it's hard to tell on camera perhaps, but if you go back to one of my earliest videos, this was completely clear, this bottle, and it may not be picking it up on camera, but this bottle, just over the course of 6 to 8 months, has certainly gotten like a brown tint to it, which is just a sign of the fragrance aging well in the bottle. And fragrances that are natural, that don't contain dyes and parabens and UV fillers, you will occasionally see some color change in those. So that's not something to be alarmed at. That's perfectly natural for most fragrances that use a predominant, natural ingredients. So again, could be exchange number 1 or number 2, but Dubai Gold, one of my personal favorites from the house. Again, almost every time I wear this, it seems like somebody says something. Beautiful stuff. It's got a really nice citrus, orange, ginger, and saffron opening with some nice, sweet, boozy cognac and brandy notes. Sorry for my voice. I'm getting over a little bit of sickness. I'm not sure if y'all can pick that up on camera. But this stuff with the musk and the woods and the base as well, just very well balanced. It's also one of those fragrances that is a little bit like signature scent, not in terms of the way it smells, but just it has a very luxurious smell and feeling to it. It's one of those, I wouldn't really say is suited for casual wear, maybe something a little bit more for dress-up occasions or date night or something like that. But if you haven't tried Dubai Gold from Bond number 9, the Dubai series, they can be a little bit difficult to get samples of. So maybe get a decant, or if they have any 7 ml bonbons you can buy on some of these sites like Scent Split, and there's quite a other one. I think Fragrance Line is another website that I got my Boadicea Victorious Tobacco Sapphire in a decant. So if you have the ability, go online, maybe try one of the Dubai series. I would recommend Dubai Gold, Indigo, Amethyst, Amber, Jade. There's a lot of good ones. I haven't really smelled one I haven't liked that much. I would say Amber was a little bit challenging for me because it does have a note of civet musk in there, which I'm not a huge fan of, but it's blended well and it's light enough to where I ended up, really enjoying it once it was on skin and kind of dried down. So again, guys, all these, my opinion, you could add a lot of different things to this list. I'm sure a lot of people would have Greenwich Village on here, Tribeca, New York Nights would be another great one. So let me know some of your top 5 most complimented winter and cold weather fragrances down below, and I'll be seeing y'all soon, all right? Bye.